Hello and welcome to Crooked Letter Sports Podcast, a show about Mississippi sports and the folks who play them. I'm Tyler Cleveland. I'm joined as always by my co-host and dad, Rick Cleveland of Mississippi Today fame. Dad, a little bit disappointing end to that Ryder Cup, but at least a little drama there at the end, huh?
Yeah, it got really interesting on Sunday. Yeah, surely did. But golly, they only had to climb up Mount Everest to get to where they had a chance.
Yeah. Well, I want to spend just a minute on that. We have got a ton of football talk to get to. We've got the Sanderson Farms Championship in Jackson this weekend, so a lot of ground to cover today. But I'll tell you what, they showed some fight, and I was proud at least that the players seemed to have a little gravitas, a little class to them, as opposed to the crowd there about 30 minutes outside New York.
The crowd was disgusting, and that's the only way you can put it. I mean, it was embarrassing. I don't know what else to say. I know that, I've often thought that sports are always a reflection of our society, and in this case, what a poor reflection.
Yeah.
The way they treated the European players and their families was absolutely disgraceful. I don't know any other way to put it.
Long Island's gonna Long Island. That's what that's all I can say about it.
It's just
I don't think that happens in Atlanta or I don't know if it's
I don't know either, but I know it should never happen anywhere. And,
go down, walk between the student section in any SEC football stadium and the opposing team warming up in front of them. And you know what I mean? It's not unlike that. It's just very stark on a golf course like that, especially when it's the Ryder Cup, and it's like they took the same approach they would at an NFL game and put it on a golf course, and it just doesn't fit.
Well, whether it's the SEC or the PGA or UFC or whatever you want to talk about, I don't know when it became okay to be boorish, to be completely uncivil. I don't know when that became okay, but it ain't okay.
I can pinpoint a time, but we're not going to talk about it on this show right now. Dad, we've got so much to get to outside of the Ryder Cup talk. Man, I don't even know where to start. I guess the big story in Mississippi was Ole Miss beating LSU 24-19 in a game that they basically dominated. I mean, they outgained LSU
after the first 5 minutes.
Well, yeah, especially in that second quarter. But they outgained LSU 484-286. LSU got some of their typical, pardon my French, bullshit with like Caden Lee fumbling on the 1 yard line going in. They're always going to get like one or two plays like that because they just do. I don't know how that happens every time. But Trinidad Chambliss, man, 385 yards. Key tackle, if you remember, on the 2-point conversion that would have pulled LSU within 3, Suntarian Perkins came up big with a big tackle there. Where the Rebels are set up, soared up to number 4 in the rankings. They're 5-0, and they've got Washington State after a bye week at home, who is supposedly one of the worst teams in the FBS. So, the way things are looking up.
You can't play in the SEC and have it set up much better than they have it set up right now. Back to Trinidad Chambliss, I think he's the best story in college football. I think his story is so cool and so unusual. He should be in the first sentence of any discussion of the Heisman Trophy right now. His numbers and what he's done his best against the best teams. He's a terrific football player. Reminds me of Murray, Kyler Murray is who he reminds me of. And by the way, Kyler Murray did win a Heisman Trophy.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Well, I mean, you look at the schedule and it's pretty obvious. It's that 2-game road swing with Georgia and Oklahoma.
Yeah, I got to go to Norman and then to Athens, I believe, in that order. Right after that Washington State game. I mean, I think those 2 games will make or break their chances at an SEC championship. For me, I don't know how many games they can lose and get in the playoff. But if it's 2, boy, I like their chances at this point.
Yeah, I think it might be 2. But we'll just have to see how it plays out. I've watched Georgia twice this year. I think they're gettable.
Yeah. Well, obviously, since Alabama just went in there and got them.
Yeah, but I mean, I think they're gettable for Ole Miss, I guess is what I'm saying, and I do think they're gettable, and I think Oklahoma's a game that they could possibly win. It's hard to imagine them sweeping those 2 teams, but if they just get one, they're in great shape.
Man, if they sweep them, it's going to be bedlam up there in Oxford. Dad, let's take a look at the other side of the state at a team that will likely be trying to play spoiler for any kind of potential postseason run for Ole Miss, and they're putting together a postseason. They're going to have a postseason of their own, and I'm talking about Mississippi State. Just a heartbreaker in Starkville. They had number 15 Tennessee on the ropes, but Joey Aguilar forced overtime with a 6-yard touchdown run with like 2 minutes left, and then the Deshaun Bishop guy with the 25-yard touchdown run on the first play in overtime, and just they lose 41-34. I'm sure that Mississippi State fans do not want to hear about moral victories, but I mean, damn, they're back. I mean, Mississippi State is back. They are very much going to be in almost every game on the schedule.
Well, they're not a gimme for Ole Miss.
No, not a gimme for anybody. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're Jeff Lebby has done a great job of turning them around, and they're not doing it with smoke and mirrors. They got good players.
No, yeah, they've got some good players, and they're consistent. They're just not. Like, offensively, they're consistent. They're just not explosive. You know what I mean? Like, I think they average 6.2 yards a pass attempt and 3.5 a run. Like I said, consistent, but not just explosive. No. And then the defense did enough. I mean, they gave up 466 yards, but forced 3 turnovers. The problem is that the road doesn't get any easier. I mean, they're at number 6 Texas A&M this weekend. And they're going to be – I mean, they're already more than 2 touchdown underdogs in that on the road.
Boy, I'll take that.
14.5 is what it said this morning.
I'll take that in a heartbeat. I don't think they're well, we'll see. But, I mean, it's just – to me, they're a solid football team. I don't see them getting blown out at College Station.
Yeah, I think the other thing is it's just very hard to win on the road in the SEC. I mean, especially – with a Mississippi State crowd that is revamped back into it, believing again. I mean, the stadium looked great on Saturday. It sounded good. That program is back, and I'm excited about it.
I wish there was a rule where State and Ole Miss have to play at separate times.
Yeah.
We were flipping that channel about as much, and plus I had State on my computer. So.
Well, we were expecting it to be a lot harder with that Ryder Cup, but that wasn't worth watching.
At that point,
on Friday and Saturday, it was a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
Anyway, take a look down in Hattiesburg, Dad, where Jeffrey Pittman scored 2 rushing touchdowns. Braylon Braxton threw for 2 more, and Southern Miss moved to 3-2 with a 42-25 win over Jacksonville State. I predicted they get a little revenge for the beatdown they took last year, and they did. They got it.
That's about how much better they are than they were last year. Last year, I think it's 44-7 Jacksonville State.
Yeah.
And this year, that game wasn't as close as. I mean, Jacksonville scored twice late,
Yeah, but Southern Miss won the turnover battle 4-1, so you'd expect it to get.
Well, that seems to be their MO. They're getting a lot of turnovers.
It helps.
It's a big part. That secondary is pretty good.
Dad, this is the first 3-win season for Southern Miss first 3-win September, since 2016. Is it safe to say that Charles Huff is going to be Sunbelt Coach of the Year?
I think what it's safe to say is he's done a hell of a job so far.
Yeah. You like their chances? They're off this weekend, going to Georgia Southern next Thursday.
My guess is that'll be a picket game. But as I've written and said on our podcast several times, I think the quarterback gives Southern a chance to win any of the games left on his schedule. Agreed.
Dad, let's see what else we've got here.
Big win for Jackson State.
Beat Southern 38-13 in the Boombox Classic. Man, Jacoby and Morgan threw for 337 yards and 2 touchdowns. The guy just keeps doing it. They just dominated the second half, to open SWAC play with a win. And I tell you what, I mean, we've talked about it here before that they're, we thought they'd be more than a little competitive. But, I mean, swapping Southern like that down in Baton Rouge is pretty impressive for the Tigers.
Yeah, you look down their schedule, and I don't see anybody beating them.
No, I don't see any losses on that, anything left in there.
A tough game against Alabama State, I believe, on the road. But other than that, they should be favored. Well, they will be favored in every game. And, we've talked about him before, but can't say enough about the job T.C. Taylor has done picking up the pieces that Deion Sanders left. And winning bigger than Deion did.
Yeah,
I'm really
happy. Far. Yeah, I'm real happy for him too. Yeah. Alcorn, who could play spoiler on that undefeated rest of the way for Jackson State, they lost to Arkansas Pine Bluff 24-20. Valley got beat by Texas Southern 23-20, and Delta State just beat Erskine College.
Yeah.
I don't know how you say that one. It doesn't matter. They got beat 52-0, and Delta State is 3-1 now,
and ranked I think in the top 20 in Division II now.
At the pro level, Dad, the Saints covered. That's the news of the week. They lost 31-19 to the Bills, but they covered the 14.5 points or whatever the hell it was they were.
Well, it was actually closer than that.
It was. They played great. They played for them. They played great.
They played really good against one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the NFL.
You might even say they played well. But they're 0-4. They host the 1-3 Giants this Sunday, who may or may not be quarterbacked by Jackson Dart.
Why would they not be?
I know. He looked pretty good, didn't he?
Yeah.
Think there'll be some Ole Miss people in the Dome?
There will be.
Well, there are tickets available if you were looking.
Yeah. Well, I thought Jackson, he can play better than that.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen him play better than that. But for your first start, he did what it took to win. And but I'll be surprised if the Saints don't get them in this time.
If they don't, I'm not seeing a whole lot of victories left on. Speaking of looking ahead on a schedule, I don't see a lot of victories left on that one.
They really, what the most impressive thing about the game at Buffalo, which is really one of the hardest places to play in the NFL, they ran the ball all over Buffalo.
Well, that's kind of got to be the recipe. They've got to take some of the pressure off of Rattler. Rattler is playing well. I don't get all the hate for him online. It's not his fault. Hell,
I talked to Archie Manning yesterday about something. We were talking about something else, but then we talked about Spencer Rattler. He said, Archie said he's playing winning football.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking care of the ball, making smart throws, making plays with his feet when he has to. I mean, he's been
not the reason,
bright spot. No,
he's not the reason they're 0-4.
No, but there are myriad other reasons we're not going to get into right now for the sake of time. Dad, I'd be remiss if we moved on from football without talking about the big game up in North Mississippi on Friday night where number 2 West Point scored a go-ahead touchdown with 11 seconds left to knock off number 1 Tupelo 28-21. It was apparently, from all accounts, a pretty frenetic fourth quarter, but it's the first loss for Tupelo since a loss in the 2023 playoffs.
I thought Tupelo was going to run the table.
Yeah, well, I think everybody did, but West Point's just kind of come out of nowhere and just beat the brakes off of a couple big boys here early, and I don't know who's going to beat them.
They're always good,
yeah.
West Point.
But it was like this game was like vintage. Like they had the ball like 3 times in the first half, and like 2 of them were like 80-yard touchdown drives that were like 16 plays, and they went and they took that 14-0 lead in the halftime, and then just strangled them.
That's the way. That is the West Point way.
It is. So head tip of the cap to the West Point Green Wave, surely the new number 1 team in the state of Mississippi. Dad, we've got the state's only PGA Tour event this weekend, and for all the talk about whether it will be the last one or not, the tournament came out, forgive the pun, swinging on Monday with a pretty damn impressive list of participants for this weekend Sanderson Farms Classic at the Country Club of Jackson.
With the coming the week after the biggest event in golf,
you're talking about a golf hangover, buddy.
Yeah, but they've got a hell of a field. They've got 4 of the top 50 players in the world. They got both the Hogard brothers.
Mm-hmm. One of which was on the European Ryder Cup team.
Yeah, now you're talking about somebody that might have a hangover when he gets to Jackson. Yeah. But Akshay Bhatia, Emiliano Grillo. I know these aren't like, we're not talking Scotty Scheffler, but these are guys that are all in the top 50. And, Bhatia, I think he's had several top 10. He's coming here to try to win a tournament.
Right.
And he may well do it.
He is the highest ranked player in the field, right?
Well, and he was playing good at the end of the season before the Ryder Cup. I think he was top 10 or top 15 in the Tour Championship.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say he was playing well.
He's really playing well. And then, 2 years ago, the U.S. Ryder Cup hero in Italy was Max Homa. Mm-hmm. He was the only, I think he won 3, lost 1, tied 1. He played all 5 matches. He's going to be at the Country Club of Jackson. And he went through a really down period.
Remember that story we talked about on the show where he fired his caddy?
Yeah.
And carried his own club?
Here lately, he's played better.
Well.
And he could win this thing. But anyway, it's at least as good a field as they've ever had. A lot of local flavor, too.
That's what I'm more excited about, to be honest.
Yeah, you got Michael Lasasso, the NCAA tournament champion, still plays at Ole Miss.
Braden Thornberry, former NCAA champion.
Who did win the NCAA championship before.
Mm-hmm. Davis Riley.
Yeah, Davis Riley, Chad Ramey, all the Mississippi PGA Tour players will be here. Should be a hell of a tournament. The weather's supposed to be good.
Yeah, shoot, if it holds out like it has been, it's going to be really nice.
Yeah, some of them are going to be surprised at how hot it can be in October.
In the afternoon, man, I'm telling you.
Yeah, but it looks good. Tyler, I just don't see how this tournament is going to continue, but I've said that probably 10 times over the last 55 years, and somehow it always comes back.
Well, let's talk about what it takes to put on the tournament, right? All right, the first thing you got to have is a sponsor, right?
Money, yeah.
You got to have money, and we're talking between $5 and $10 million.
Yeah.
To sponsor the tournament.
Probably closer to the double figures.
Okay.
Yeah.
So start there. I don't know who has that, but you need that. They do have a great venue. Country Club of Jackson's a good venue. Terrific venue for it. Got to have the money.
You got to have a date too.
Got to have a date. This one, I think the weather wise, this is probably as good as a weekend as any, because you're just throwing a dart at a calendar when it comes to weather.
I think late October would be the best for us, but we don't get to pick that day.
Right. That seems to be the issue with it.
And right now, the whole fall schedule of the PGA Tour is up in the air.
Right.
Don't know what's going to happen with it. So there's a lot of factors working against it. But again, I remember a time early when it was the Magnolia Classic in Hattiesburg, and Robert Morgan, the executive director of the tournament, came into the Hattiesburg American office the Monday after the tournament to plead with us at the paper. He said, I need y'all to tell the world how dangerous we are of losing this tournament. It's been through floods. It's been through tornadoes. It's been through the worst heat waves in Mississippi history. But somehow it's lost sponsors before and come back. Somehow it always comes back. But boy, I'd say the odds are really against it right now.
Well, it's a shame because in addition to, like I said, being our only PGA Tour event, our big tour event anyway, we have benefited from it.
Oh,
all 82 Mississippi counties.
Everybody, every worthy cause in Mississippi, most notably, the University Medical Center Children's Hospital has benefited from this golf tournament.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking millions and millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars.
For health care for needy children.
Yeah, I mean, what better cause can you have than that? I hope it continues, but it's David fighting Goliath right now.
Right, but I think what's kind of disheartening is there's a handful of people who can really do something to help keep it here, but it's like somebody like us. I mean, there's not much you can do other than attend the tournament. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But this is of all the weekends that they've ever had since it moved to the fall. You got Ole Miss has an open date. You got State playing at Texas A&M, and you got Southern with an open date.
Yeah,
you're not going to have a better situation football wise than that. So I hope they have big crowds. I hope that some potential sponsor gets impressed, and I hope we have a tournament next year.
Me too. Well, but Dad, that's about all the time we've got today. What else are you looking forward to this week?
Well, I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really looking forward to the tournament. And,
we're recording this on Tuesday morning. You headed out there this afternoon?
I'm going out there this afternoon. They have a neat event there, kind of a junior tournament. They play on the, CCJ is a 27-hole golf course. They play on the off 9, a junior tournament. And there'll be players who will be playing in the Sanderson Farms Championship this weekend who played in this junior tournament as kids.
Well, that's very cool.
Yeah, so I know Randy Watkins, who is a great friend of this show, has been instrumental in keeping that going. Mm-hmm. And, I'm going to go out there and support that.
Awesome. Well, we really appreciate everybody listening in this week. Take it easy this weekend and gear up for that. The second half of the football season right around the corner.
Boy, it's going to be cool. That's going to be fun.
It is. Everybody stay safe out there. We'll talk to you next week.